Questions?
Yeah, I mean, so far that's 5. I mean, I'm really thrilled with the growth of our offense over the last 2 weeks or so, playing better on that end and having the maturation on that end that we want, and especially given it's been a really thorough couple weeks here with emotion and another great crowd to kind of urge us along, but my team's getting better and better, and I think that was on display today.
So let's touch on the crowd real quick.
Yeah.
That was bigger than every crowd last season except the Duke game. And for the NFL playoffs to be going on and so many people come out, that's impressive for your program.
Especially, I mean, we were home twice this week, and so were our men. So there's a lot of basketball in this community over the last week, and it was raining, and who wants to stand in the rain waiting to get in the game? So we didn't kind of know what to expect, and have so many students, so many fans. I think they like the product, and they should.
Deja, can you talk about, obviously, you knew the shooting slump was going to end eventually, and I know it was frustrating while it lasted, and how did it feel to finally break out of it today?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I just have to keep reminding myself that, I'm a good shooter, and just telling myself my percentages are not a reflection of the type of shooter I am. So yeah, just having that confidence to still, keep shooting regardless of misses or anything like that, just throughout these past few games. I think that's definitely just kind of helped me through it.
And it seemed like when you made a 3 in recent games, it would bounce on the rim and go in. Those were nothing but net today. I mean, those were pure. And did anything change with your shot? It's just the way it went.
I think this is the way it went. I think that kind of just reflects how the shooting slump is kind of, I don't want to call it a slump, but just how it's been going. I've had like a bounce in the past 2-3 games. But for today, I think I've just been repping it out, trying to get as many reps as I can. And like I said, it's just a confidence thing. It's a mental thing for me.
But your all-around game, other than the perimeter shooting, has been terrific recently, and you really haven't let it affect your game.
Yeah, nope. Like I said, it's just mental. So I'm not gonna let it affect me too much. I know I bring other things to the table.
Courtney, can you speak to Deja's play?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're a good basketball player when you can impact winning without scoring on the offensive end as efficiently as we want. As our offense has gotten better, she'll get shots more in rhythm, and that's what you saw today. So some of the shots that she's taken over the last month or so, some of them have been really challenged, and that's partly her own doing, and it's partly our team's doing, right? And so as our offense gets better, her shooting percentage will go up as well.
Coach, I think you said after Thursday's game, you wanted the offense to kind of come along a little bit more. It looks like it did today. I mean, over 50% in the first 3 quarters. Is this kind of the response, kind of the click-in that you wanted?
Absolutely. I think even in the second half of the Duke game, we're starting to do the things that we know we have to do, and there's a little bit of a nuance to offense, right, because it's a collective, and they're starting to cut at the right times, screen at the right angles, use their dribble at the right time and use their pass at the right time, right? So their rhythm is much better, which is leading to better shots, and they're finding where they can attack without each of them kind of being on an island. So the offense has gotten better. We feel like it's gotten better in practice, and it's starting to show, which is timely.
Is it the spacing just been better?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the spacing one pass away, the spacing 2 pass away, the timing of our duck-ins, the depth and width of our offense is just better, and it hasn't come from, it hasn't just happened. We put a lot of film work into it, a lot of practice, part whole, and I think they're starting to feel really comfortable with what we're asking them to do.
Coach, what was the message about attacking in transition in the days leading up to the game?
We think that we can be really good when we get stops, and when we get stops, Alyssa's ability to rim run ignites our break, right? Because she either draws a crowd or she gets it. And when Alyssa's in, we got a great example of what rim running looks like, right? And so, that is a strength for as long as she's going to give us all she's got.
Question. Oh, sorry. You'll go ahead. And then a question for Alyssa, of course. What are you seeing in transition when you're trying to attack in transition?
Yeah, well, first, as soon as we get a defensive stop, I'm just so excited to sprint down the court, and that might sound weird, but I really am. And just because I love to compete and I love to try to outrun my opponent every time down the floor, I just get such a thrill from doing that. So when I get there, I just try to initiate a defender, and so either that'll open myself up or it'll open up somebody on the backside for a 3-pointer. So I know no matter what the play comes down to, my rim run will like initiate some type of offense.
Question for the players. So after Thursday night's game, was there a sort of like, you guys had to like regain composure, coming off this high of beating Notre Dame, State, and Duke at home, these prime ranked matchups? Was there, you guys had to like recompose?
I think what we're really focused on in these next games is just treating everyone the same. Not really having a drop off as far as mentality. Just having the same mentality we had for Notre Dame, for NC State, for Duke. We know those are bigger games and they were ranked and all those things. So just having that same mentality, whether it's Georgia Tech, whether it's Clemson, whoever we have next, just having that same mentality and playing the same way and playing the right way.
You guys have been at home for 4, I think it is. Now you got 2 on the road. Any change or just back in the gym?
Yeah, I mean, first that's the thing, right? We don't get to travel our 4,000 fans with us, unfortunately. So we've created a really good home environment, and it will feel different without them, right? We know that. So I think it's addressing that, it's owning that, it's recognizing that off tomorrow, and know that we've got a road sweep ahead now. We've got 2 road games. And so how can we package that in a way that makes us efficient, but two feisty, aggressive zone teams that are going to want to create turnovers and go to the glass, rebound really well, are coming up. And on the road, we've got to find a way to get, we got to find a way to score. You got to make their life hard with their fans rooting for them. So yeah, it's certainly a different challenge on the road. We know that.
The question that anyone can answer: what was the work that was put into practice to improve that kind of rhythm on the offensive end in terms of timing of screens, timing of weapons, and so forth that Coach was talking about?
I think offensively it kind of came down to understanding how to play together. For example, like knowing that I love to duck in. So if a guard has the ball on the wing and I duck in, that's something that's to my strength. So making sure we play to everybody's strengths when we're on the court has helped our offense kind of flow. So I think that was really the biggest thing.
Well, listen, how's the getting so many 3-pointers? You hit one, you guys hit several. How does that change the offense, open things up, and make you guys more versatile?
Yeah, I think threes, just in general, are a momentum pusher. And so you see how excited and how much we love to celebrate when each other makes threes. And we're sharing the ball a lot. We got a lot of assists tonight, which is good. So it kind of just picks up the energy.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you, it feels like the last couple of games your rotations have been pretty consistent with what you're getting from the bench. Do you feel like you're pretty comfortable at this point in the season with, Paulina and Tiani and Destiny and everybody kind of contributing?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of faith in our bench, and I hope these guys do too. I think even Zelaya is a name you left off, but I think we kind of know what we're going to get there, right? And today it was good to be able to give them a little bit of an extended run so they can get the minutes of experience. Nothing replaces that really, but there's an element of trust there because they've done it in live play now, right, for many games, and so. Yeah, we just in January you know your team more than you do in November, and I think this group has a lot to offer, and they're showing their depth, which we need because as the season goes on, these guys get more and more petite. So it's a combination of rest, recovery, and utilizing our bench as much as we can.
Any update on Kayla and Ariel?
No, not yet. We should have it soon though. I keep saying that, but really, I don't know what else to say. Soon, But no, nothing yet.
I was going to ask you, Deja, do you know Caleb, and do you talk to him very often?
Caleb,
yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys talked about, I know he's had a long shooting slump. I just wondered if you guys happen to talk about that around the last few weeks.
We haven't, but he's a great player for the men's team, and he does a lot of other things well. So I think everyone and all the Carolina fans should have faith that he's going to get out of whatever he's in right now, and he shows up. He's great players show up when it's needed. So when it really comes down to it, he'll show up for them.
I want to ask real quick. You played 3 post players for about 7 minutes there in the second half. What did you like about that? Is this kind of experimenting on a one-sided game?
Yeah, a little bit of that. And really, Destiny's kind of an everything, right? So we can put her at the post, we can put her at the guard. So we gave her and Alyssa some guard minutes today. We know that our guard rotation is thin. without Kayla, without Ariel right now. So we need to rest some guys. We're going to have to give more minutes to Alyssa at the guard spot and Des at the guard spot. So, yeah, we went with 2 bigs more than usual to try to rest these guys a little bit.
Okay.
Cool, guys. Thank you so